Cancer, thank you so much for dropping in with me on this Virgo full moon. We're building up to it. It'll be full here in the States at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tonight is the night if you got visibility to step outside and check that out. That being said, these are timeless reads. So the message finds you when you are meant to receive it. But if you're coming to it later, there might be a connecting point with that full moon energy. All right. So just take that little bit of a note. There might be something coming to fruition, fulfillment. I'm getting 6 months down the road, okay, that connects to this full moon for you, Cancer. We are doing this drop-in on your energy for any significant Cancer placement, or if you have a prominent fourth house placement, or if you're a Capricorn rising, that makes you a Cancer descendant. I feel pretty chill dropping into your energy right now, I have to say, Cancer. So let's just see. Let's check it out. We're going to work with the Arcane BS deck to sort of get a baseline of the energy. I'm really enjoying working with this deck. And yeah, let's play. Let's see what's coming in for you. Spirit, what does Cancer need to know at this time? What's coming on Cancer's path? Please allow the messages to come through in the most empowering way. Let them be truthful, clear, direct, easy for Cancer collective to understand, assimilate, apply to their life as it fits, and to lead them forward toward their north node of destiny with assuredness in their steps, all right? What is coming through for Cancer collective spirit? Bottom of the deck energy, we got big moth energy here, okay? And this is really reminding me of the need sometimes to head straight into the flames to burn away what's false. It's also understanding that in the destruction, we have like the impregnation of the new way forward. I do feel like there's also this piece coming in for those of you that are artists where you're feeling a little bit frustrated by this advance into the AI realm because you feel like it's going to lose a little bit of its heart, a little bit of its soul. But there's this piece coming forward that if you're an artist and you're not wanting to conform to the new algorithm of everything has to be AI or you'll fall behind, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, the reality is the collective so often doesn't give themselves credit for the power they truly have. It's all about what we invest in. You know, your consumerism is your power. So you don't have to step in line with that. There's people who want real, you know, and real will be the new niche. Okay. So that's coming in for somebody. Be true to your art. Okay. 3:33 on the clock. Be true to your art. Be true to your expression. I also feel like you feel the advancement of stepping into the future, okay, and the pull there, but there's also a part of you that maybe feels like a little apprehension about it. You might feel that, you know, there's more challenges up ahead. You feel a little bit stressed out about that. That might have to do with a particular character who you feel exercises the dark force over your life, all right? This may go way, way, way back. This person may actually kind of like ignite some primal responses within you. I get like fight, flight, you know, response. This could be somebody that you have like a runner chaser dynamic with, or there's somebody that just has a way of just dinging these places in you that puts you in that space where maybe you don't feel safe to fully open up or be vulnerable, right? This coming forward here, but I do feel like there's something that is being transformed in this situation. I believe you're facing your fears. I believe you're looking at the ways that you've given your power away in the past. 4:44 on the clock, and you're coming into alignment. You also have a lot of spiritual support around you in regard to this. I got big Archangel Michael vibes coming in to help you really just release unhealthy energetic attachments and to come into a place of personal empowerment. And I think there's a part of you that feels like, you know, a really significant aspect of yourself is falling away, or what you've come to identify as yourself. But it's sort of like stripping this away helps you get down more to what's real. All right. And this is what actually, you know, creates the new way forward. It's through the tearing down of the old that the new emerges, okay? So let's see what's coming through here. There's a new avenue being born through something that's being leveled. That's what I got, right? You're leveling something that you've identified with for a very long time. It's something that's been very tempting for you, even though it had kind of a dark force over your life. You had a hard time transforming this. This is crossing energy. The nip slip poke. Okay, this is interesting. It gives me sort of like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth kind of energy here. And the way that our anger and our desire to like get even in situations where we felt disempowered is actually a way that we kind of court our own fall. Okay, this is how the message is coming through. And that there's a need to have an understanding that when we choose peace, all right, we're able to kind of like bypass all of this complication that actually keeps us in a place where our anger is like cutting off our lifeline. It's keeping us stuck in this position of just constantly focusing on the bad blood in connections that went wrong or experiences that had a really negative, aspect that influenced us and what we're able to create for ourselves moving forward because we get too tied up looking back there. This is like releasing the bad blood, releasing the need to get even. This is also about letting yourself be a little bit vulnerable. In some cases, you may be feeling like you're a little bit drained because there's been some grudge that's been going on for too long. This is sort of like just letting it go, releasing it. It's also turning it over to spirit. And we do have that dove energy coming in. So those are all about messengers from spirit, messengers from above, heavenly messengers as well. Okay, so you could be connecting with one of your ancestors just with that tooth imagery here as well. That's helping you understand some step you need to take in order to release some bad blood. This may be something coming through as a way to sort of cleanse yourself as well. Cleanse yourself of some old energetic attachment to something that's had a dark force over your life. It may require you to offer something up, spill something out, okay? Make an offering. For some of you, this could be in relation to if you're, a worker of the occult arts, you could have done something working with your blood, okay? And in this case, this might be something you need to cleanse from. You might be wondering why you're encountering a dark force in your life that seems to be cutting off the creative force. Just as you start to find momentum, you start to find blockages coming onto your path or things that are making the way more difficult. It might be in relation to like an old working that just sort of has to play out. If that's the case and you've been going through a cycle like that, all right, I do feel like Spirit sending in the message of like you're just about on the other side of this, and maybe be mindful in moving forward in the future if you work on that kind of path that, you want to have the highest intention because ultimately we may think that we're doing something to affect another, but you're really only affecting yourself. That's the way that kind of working works, okay? I do feel like there's something that is really transforming here, and it's in relation to finally like having a release, letting go of the bad blood, choosing peace instead, accepting where there has been a leveling of the life you once knew and your former identity, and actually being at peace with this, okay? Maybe even looking at aspects you're not proud of, but I feel like you're even understanding that you paid for that, okay? With the experiences you've been through, you paid for that. And it's not to punish so much as to educate. And I feel like in those cases where it does apply, there's something that you've really learned here, all right? This is what I'm getting. But there is renewal on the other side of this. There is rebirth energy. With that, we got sex witch octopus. Okay, so yeah, there could be something that you do need to really release here, something that's become a bit of a like a clingy kind of energy. All right, And you know this. I think you're aligned with this truth. You know that you should protect yourself from this clingy energy. It's a clingy energy. It drains you. It drains you. All right. And sometimes this can even be like if we really feel upset about something or angry about something, we feel a lot of grief about something, and we keep reflecting on it. In some ways, that becomes the spirit of that thing. Like you can create with your thoughts, you can create sort of like an entity of that thing, a spirit of that thing. In other words, if you focus incessantly on some grief, you can create the spirit of grief, and the spirit of grief can become attached to you, and that will color the experiences that you have moving forward. With sex witch here, anything done sexually or anything done with the fluids, as well as just the act of coming together with somebody on that level, it can really like entangle the energy. This might be in relation to an old lover and something that you need to kind of like clear out here, okay? Clear out here in order to bring transformation. So you can really get back into your own energy again. It's super important, all right? And we see here the birthday corpse, right? So this is what this is telling me. It's like, it's almost like, well, here's the anniversary yet again. Here we are, another year, and we're still doing the same old stuff. We're still focusing on the same old stuff. And meanwhile, that rebirth I'm looking for, that new beginning I'm looking for, it's not happening. And why? Because I keep celebrating the past. I keep celebrating the stuckness. I keep celebrating the ghosts of what once were by continually focusing on it, putting my attention there. So this is an opportunity to really close the cycle and honor what needs to be released, and accepting that though it may feel like a tower or it may feel like a radical identity shift, on the other side of that, it brings something that is, transformational. It's sort of like you got to look at it as a road opener. Right now, this old energy is just draining you. And so when it drains you, it doesn't allow you to really fully exercise your creative power. Not only that, it blocks your path, okay? It blocks you from being able to focus on what you want to create for yourself. And as long as you continue to focus on an old situation or a grudge energy, all it does is continue to, redirect your power back there. There's something that you're transforming here, though, and I feel that very strongly. I feel like you're finally getting to the other side of this, and this is really good. All right, let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. Yep, look at this. Old man pouring water on an eyeball. So you are really cleansing away the energy of the old. You realize that a lot of time has passed. You don't want to stay in this place anymore. You want to get back to life. I think you're seeing things a lot more clearly. I think as you start to let this go, this entanglement, you are starting to realize how much this was draining your vitality and also blocking your vision, blocking your intuitive awareness. It's like I get this image almost of like the clouds parting and the sun coming out. It just brings clarity to everything when you do this. I think there's some mixed feelings around it. There's a feeling of loss. I also feel that there's a little bit of a feeling of embarrassment in some cases, like you feel a little self-conscious about the fact that you've held on to something for so long. All right, there's something that feels very vulnerable about the release. All right, you may perceive it as a fall, or this person may have been somebody that you really looked up to, and they've kind of fallen from grace in your mind's eye, and that cuts. It cuts deep. But at the same time here, there's also a new kind of consciousness, maturity, and you know that in cleansing this away, you move into greater expansion into your life, right? So this is really using your spiritual wisdom to move forward. Look at it. It comes up twice, okay? Has something to do with, needing to clear away an old kind of like spiritual, sort of identity, as well as really being out of harmony with your path. Okay. Because sometimes this can be the need to do spiritual cleansing for, taking actions that were really out of alignment with what you know to be true and authentic on your path, or you feel like you were dealing with somebody that really kind of led you down a garden path, so to speak. And this may be somebody, that you had a spiritual kinship with or a spiritual connection with. Or some of you, if you're on the path of alchemy, you may be engaged in a little tit for tat with somebody else who's on that path. You're throwing stuff back and forth at each other. And the only thing it's doing is mucking up your energy and putting blockages on the path. For both of you, man, that's not a good thing. So, if you're kind of like trying to get even on that level with somebody, even if it's just through, trying to like throw your weight around or shame somebody, pass judgment on somebody, act holier than thou, or vice versa, somebody's projecting that on you, all it does is it just creates this sense of just energy that just bogs you down like quicksand. It doesn't allow you to move forward. So I feel like there's something you're really cleansing. There's a need to cleanse, and there's a need to get a different view in this situation. And I think once you do this, there's a rebirth on the other side. So I want to see what the rebirth is about for Cancer and cleansing away this old energy. I would say during this lunar cycle in the waning moon, as we head up to full moon is a great time for release, as is the dark moon cycle thereafter. So I encourage you to engage in a lot of spiritual cleansing at this time. I think it'll really help you and really get into your own energy. That'll be very beneficial as well. You should also consider, if you are somebody who likes to manifest with others, be mindful of how you are manifesting with others. Are they on the same path as you? Do you have the same intention? This is important too. There's something about sort of compromising the intention coming through, okay, and a need to get clarity. I think it's just old energy that has been, kind of like clinging to you for a long time from stuff that was never resolved. It might be like old grudge energy, okay? I just keep picking that up. But I do feel like you're getting guidance from your ancestors and how to like release this. Some of you are involved in doing some generational healing right now, okay? There's some theme that's playing out in your life that mirrors a theme that your ancestors had, or that's played out in your family line, multiple times. And you're here to be that generational curse breaker by taking a radical move, creating a new way forward, not adhering to the old way of doing things where maybe things aren't addressed, things are swept under the rug, a blind eye is turned to things, An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind is what I heard, okay? This theme coming through here for you. Let's see what we got, bottom of the deck energy. This could have something to do with a love relationship, something is desired to move forward toward, some kind of fulfillment in love, with the Two of Hearts coming in with the Jack of Hearts. This is really wanting to see a moving forward in a romantic connection where there has been, a lot of imbalance, and you're wanting to bring this into balance, and you're trying to figure out how to do that. I think partially you need to find that balance within yourself before you can really invest in this thing. But what I see here is the King of Hearts here too, okay? So, the King of Hearts has the Joker coming in after the King of Hearts in reverse, okay? So there's something here that, it was a little funny business, and maybe to the King of Hearts, it was all fun and games, but it wasn't to you, or vice versa. It could go either way, because here's the Queen of Hearts on the other side, okay, sandwiching this Joker. So this is about something, going a little awry, in matters of the heart. It can be a misconnection. It can be a misfire, okay? If, somebody did any kind of love working here, definitely it could be like things got really weird, okay? And that's why, there's something that needs to be cleansed away here. I also feel like, maybe somebody's been pretending like they're really, committed to this thing. They're committed to their relationship. They're committed to their vows. Okay, this could be a married couple, and yet somebody's pulling something a little funny. There's a little funny business going on there, but it's hidden, you know, it's beneath the radar. So there's something that's throwing a relationship out of balance, and you may need to kind of put a pause on things to get a clear view. Are you ready to like leave this connection, you know, and have a rebirth in your life in a different direction? I mean, if that's the case, 2020 on the clock, you need to get clear vision here, because if you're wanting to move in another direction, it looks here like you got to bring something to an end, because this story, the way this is playing out, isn't working. And if you are with somebody, you know, who's like really wanting to be with you, and you're already in a relationship or not available for some reason, and you're putting them on pause and trying to keep something under wraps, this could become a situation where they start becoming clingy, and it starts to get more pressurized, and this could cause some embarrassing like falls from grace. Like, you know, this could be something that's seen publicly. You don't want this like blocking your path. That's not for everybody, but it's coming in for somebody here. I do feel like there's been some kind of misconnection here, and it's because of, you know, something here that's acting as a block that needs to be cut off with the King of Spades, and it requires just clean cut decision, decisiveness, you know, no BS. All right. And no funny business either, because if somebody is throwing around a lot of workings, or if somebody's trying to really manipulate the situation and work it, or put the burden on one person, what's going to happen is this thing is just going to continue to be like a dream. Like, will it ever happen? Will it ever be? And then you'll have these situations where there's like an initial movement of energy that feels like, oh, this thing is developing, it's going somewhere. There's like all this impetuous behavior, and yeah, it's very exciting, but it leads to, you know, heartache with the 7 of Spades there, and, you know, loss. All right. This is a situation where somebody's been burned before. They've been burned many a time. We got air sign energy here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. We also have all the water sign energy here. You, of course, also Pisces and Scorpio. There's something here, you know, there's some kind of love fulfillment that is really strongly desired in this situation of coming together. But this thing keeps like misfiring from coming into alignment. And the reason being is that someone here is trying to be too controlling. All right. They're trying to be too controlling here with the 4 of Spades. You know, right behind that, we have the 6 of Hearts. Again, this is a really old score. This is old energy. This has been going on for a long time. I feel like this situation has a history. It's got roots in the past, okay? There's something that needs to be released from the past, and this could relate to a Queen of Diamonds energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be a Capricorn rising, and this could be speaking very strongly for you. And if you're wondering how come I'm not like really connecting with somebody on a heart level where we're able to really commit to each other, and where there can be growth. And I also feel growth of abundance as well, growth in finances. You're wondering why this keeps backfiring and why it's so slow. It's because there's something that needs to be released from the past, okay, that is creating this sort of glamour and confusion that's preventing you coming into alignment with that person. It's actually blocking it. All right, look at this. Ace of Clubs in reverse, okay? As soon as you clear away this old energy, whatever this is, okay, you know what it is. You know where you have a bone to pick. You know where you need to lay a ghost to rest. You know where you're still tied into somebody that you should have released, okay? You know if you did a working. It applies in many different ways. You know where you're not willing to forgive something that should have been let go of a long time ago, or where you're trying to control something so much that you don't allow it to actually come through authentically as it's meant to, in alignment with you, because what's meant for you can never be taken from you. So there's something here that needs to be understood about moving out of a place that feels so hungry or so concerned or reaching, and instead just opening and allowing and seeing what shows up. Okay. Once you do this, you have the activation of the moving forward into this alignment. Queen of Clubs energy, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You could be on the Cancer, Leo cusp. Okay. This brings about, you know, a building together. This brings about abundance in finances. This opens the road and aligns you with your North Node. Okay. So I think this is what's really coming through for you with this message. Spend this time cleansing. And where you feel blockages now, you're going to see the ways free and clear. Blessings to you, Cancer.